Okay, now the microphone is on. Good morning, happy winter solstice. Last day of Hanukkah, first day of winter. What a busy day. That I was surprised to see, but that did happen on another sheet of paper I had, so some of the paper is defective. Overall, though, I still say it was a great bargain. We will not be using this corner, no doubt, but we can use the rest of it. And that's what we're going to do. We'll leave that side for the "you didn't make it, Ted" side. That would be very, I guess first let's get rid of the edge. The sunlight is playing with me here. The darn shadows. Okay, let's see if we can get that. Good visual here. Two. No, I like it. No, you troublesome piece. Definitely can't use all of you. As far as we can go. Let's just get it straight. Not quiet. Good thing we have scissors. One little layer of paper, about as thick as tissue paper. This is an interesting paper. Despite the occasional flaws with it, once you get used to working with it, it really is a lot of bang for your buck. Lemon. Just a little. Those colors, which are probably looking very bleached out right now because I am in bright, bright sunlight. I would figure today would not be an overcast day. Solstice. Well, actually, the rest is all done by hand. Stay there. Now this one should be narrow at the bottom, should be narrow at the top, so we're going to have to change you. Aww. Oops. Oh, I made that a deep cut, didn't I? Nope. Gotta reverse you too. Nope. Yeah, we'll fix you. I could turn these into very tiny Christmas trees. No, no, resist the compulsion. It's time to move on. maybe, but I need something besides a stick figure. I should have used the cutter for that one. Okay. And you. Be a little closer. Yeah. Okay, that's better. Although that is kind of skinny. What do we have? Oh, move how we need to do this now. I think we're going to go with silver and gold. Silver background, which will only be obvious in certain light, but then we'll use gold leaf for the halos of the candles. Okay. I think we're going to pull out the big pans. It's good because I just dumped just dumped a bunch of stuff on the small pans. But that's what we need, the silver. And I love that too. Yeah, we'll throw a little of that in there. But mostly this. I hope you are having a wonderful weekend. If you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah, today's the last day of Hanukkah. All the candles get lit tonight. I actually have enough. I've got a menorah and it's got all the candles in it, which I have not been lighting. I have the only candles I've got left are the ones that are actually sitting in the menorah, so maybe I'll burn them tonight. Just for fun. Again, I don't keep up with traditions very much. They are lovely times though, and I do remember wonderful celebrations growing up. I'd like to hold on to the good memories of holidays rather than the tortured realities of how they came to be. Fortunately, I know my colors because nothing is going to look right in the sun this bright. I'm going to go the other way. Since we're going to have the gold candles, I think we're going to go ahead and add a little warmth to the upper part of this. And let them just kind of melt together. It probably doesn't look like anything in the sun. Bleached out. It's okay. It doesn't look all that different from plain paper until you move it and you see all the mica. It's quite a bit of mica deposited on this. Gonna let it settle into the fibers of the paper. And then we're going to layer on a little bit more because I want as maximum shine, you know, for the card. This is really a New Year's card. The larger ones are getting mailed like that. And yeah, that one is actually ready for candles. So which candles do I want to put? Or do I want to put candles on this? We got a lot of similarities. I don't think that's a good idea. No, no, we're going to have to finish this off with gold as we started. That was killer. Okie dokie. I think this is warm enough. I'm so glad that I discovered this little art helper. I never would have thought about its art applications until I started watching YouTube. I've picked up so many wonderful, inspiring ideas, and I have to say I was very pleased to discover how many of them I was already using. I discovered in my own years of playing with paints and inks and craft supplies. Yeah. I shouldn't have bothered putting it back in your stand. It's more of a difficulty to get it out. A little extra there. Just stay there for a minute. Well, there goes a gnat. It's warm enough that gnats are flying in. The teeny ones that get through your screen. Like, no wonder we can't keep them out of our indoor plants. But there it is, winter solstice and a gnat. All right, we're gonna go with the gold foil. Okay, foil. I've never tried cutting this with scissors because just pulling it has always been enough. Okay, you stay there. And you stay there. I'll put you over here. Don't you dare. Alright, the good thing about this stuff is I will see results right away. When I use the acrylic, I have to wait for it to dry, sometimes 24 hours before I dare risk removing the excess foil. Oh, I need that tea today. I love having a lid for my teacup because this stuff, like when I'm splattering paint, it gets everywhere. Right, I'm gonna actually, let's see what I can lift off there. Okay. It's hard to really tell, but it gives a nice textural element that I like. Of course, it's hard to tell on camera close up. It's like, how did they do that? I like that part. The last cards of 2025. Ta-da! Okay. It might not be the last Christmassy, solstice-y one. We do want to do New Year's, and like all the other holidays in December, I celebrate light. So candles are a good way to say, have a wonderful light-filled life, a year. Stay there. Oh, I am gilding everything. I've got this stuff on my nail polish. Now I've got it stuck to my ballistics. I'm just golden. Okay, excess gold removal system. Ta-da! Now, of course, before I give these away, I write a little something on the back of each one, which will keep me plenty busy. Okay. Moving right along. Let's see where you are. Still a bit of a curve to the paper, meaning it's still wet. Oh, damn. Let's go ahead and do a couple others. I kind of like that background, so we'll do it for these two. And I've got another slice of paper that needs to be cut up and turned into cards. So, yeah, we'll work on all of them. And it sparkles so obligingly. Now, in the light, what you can't see, because we can't get a close-up that's good enough, I love playing with iridescence because you watch the metal flake or the mica or whatever they're using to create that. It used to just be mica, a natural mineral that's very plentiful all over the world. But then they started using mylar. That is more problematic for our environment, obviously. How did we end up with a band that looks nearly dry? Get a little mica to merge there. That's strange. How about you? You don't want too clean an edge between the sky and the snow. Okay, that should do it for you guys. Oh, more gilded age here. see a message. My neighbor. Okay, my friend has been sick, but she did take advice and see a doctor. She's on medicine. All right, let's add a little more couleur to this palette. That's better. Okay. Now we've got some color deposited on this, which I know is still like really hard for you to see, given we're talking about the palest gray and, you know, the palest brown, which is basically what these come down to. When you add the mica, it becomes really shiny and pretty. And we call it silver and champagne. But the pigments underlying that is basically titanium white. Sometimes they add a little bit of black to make a slight variation, you know, of silvers. They can make it, basically, it's gray. Just like gold is basically yellow ochre, or various shades of yellow ochre. And you can see if you took the metallic out of it, it would just be shades of gold, yellow gold, not shiny metallic gold. Okay, enough. We're not really giving lessons here. If you're here, I hope that you already know how to do things. I'm not here to teach art. I'm here to play and make cards. Okay, so we've got 4 candles. colors are not quite there. What can I toss in there to bring these tones together? We're going to have gold. But that counts like a black. Isn't that weird? Metallics, you've got to think of them as dark values because they reflect everything around them. Okay, but the gold will go up there. Oh, we're going to try a little experiment. Get rid of the mess I made here. It's a good thing it's time. It's time to redo the desk. Oh, we do have a couple of golds. Those are very yellow. I've got some greens. Plain green. Okay, what we need is this. Well, I could go with that very antique-y rose. Let's see. More. Right there. Put a few streaks in the sky. Reminiscent of a sunrise. We'll try it on one, see how the color works. It looks like this is one of my go-to roses. It's kind of muted, a little on the mauve side. Well, this has been a very quiet Sunday. I should check and see if I'm actually live. Sunday is the only day that's actually on my schedule for being here. I'm so bleached out. I'm gonna have to wait for the, I'm gonna have to have some contrast here. Just the color kind. And the value of contrast, even though it's not always comfortable, it does show us the way. All right, we will let all 3 of you dry. I'm having plenty of sun for that. And this. First, we need to get rid of that terrible, cut your hand sharp glue. I've actually torn my skin on it. Nasty. To be shorter so it fits in an envelope better. Oh, 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 oh. No, that. Now I've got to realign it. This is curved. That is the only flaw with this design. I really like this cutter other than that. Alright, that has to go right there. Strangely damaged and lovely. Let's double check. Yes, it will fit. Maybe not quite. All right, need to shorten that a little. Keep this side. Let's get you leveled out. Oh, that'll work. All right, we're now at the right size ranges for the size envelopes that I have. I wanted to finish up the year's cards this size, but then I realized I'm out of envelopes this fits into, and I would have to order some online for replacing the ones I really enjoy and have enjoyed using last year, but I'm not doing any of that right now. I'm trying to find new sources for some of the things that I was purchasing online before, local sources, and support the smaller businesses in my area. It really is a good idea for everybody to do that, because when difficulties arise in a community or a country, they're going to be your support system, people who are actually able to be face to face with you. It looks like this material is really attracted. How much of you is now permanently part of this BlizzTex? Now, if I wanted to do that on purpose, I probably couldn't do it. Okay. Let's take some of you sparkly stuff away. All right. Just a few more days. Wait, Christmas is a week from today, right? I have to look at my calendar. Oh, it's right down down the street now. Today is Sunday, so it's this week. Thursday, I think, right? Today's 21st. So yeah, Christmas is right around the corner. I have a lot of baking and cooking to do over the next couple of days. And on Tuesday, I get to hang out with my son for another movie. Tomorrow, I get to take one of my neighbors out for Chinese food and some last minute grabbed grocery stuff. And baking and cooking. And somewhere in there, laundry. So today, I will either be doing an experiment in the kitchen online where you can watch me make a mess in my kitchen again, or I'll be doing laundry and I'll see you tomorrow instead. I just got this weird notice. My grocery store is trying to get me to go shopping online. I'm gonna surprise them and shop in person. Okay, let's get these taped up for either tomorrow or the next day. Because after all, this is the last week of doing this kind of thing. Meaning this design. I will always do some painting, but I would like to change the theme of what I am painting. I'm sending my friend Gloria a veritable forest of Christmas tree cards. And I want to make sure something pretty goes out tomorrow. Or it's been nice to not be doing butterflies and flowers. I will be doing that again shortly, but for now it's winter and I want to enjoy the winter imagery for a bit. Maybe I'll put a little garden across the bottom of that. Matter of fact. Let's get a bit of water on it. Oh, I think I turn the glue off for now. When I see this color, I think of Easter eggs. It's like, oh, spring, next holiday. Well, actually, the next holiday is not Easter. That's half a year away. It's for the spring solstice. Just throw in something a little darker, a little bluer. Okay, that's more spring-like. And you can actually see it in this light. Let's see what it looks like when it's dry. With watercolors, you know, that's where the truth is found. All right, darlings. Is there somebody here? Yes, there is somebody here. Okay, I will wait until then, until noon then. Yeah. Need some deeper purple. Too dry. As a kid, I used to hate watercolors. They're so, what was available was so cheap and didn't lay down any color. So I always thought watercolors were watery, and the colors were always pastel-y. And as I came to love vibrant color, it just annoyed me. And then I discovered real watercolors and went, oh, there's options. They use tube watercolor. You can ladle it right out of there if you want. Get the purest, deepest pigments possible. Which I like. Alright, we need to, I guess, get a little bit more sunlight down in there. There we go. More vibrant. That feels better, but now I need a little bit more of that. Ooh. Maybe that'd be too much. Maybe. More contrast. And I'm sorry, I can't even see it. I'm so blinded by the light. I can see this if I look directly at it, but I don't see it picking up on the camera the way I'm seeing it, so maybe we see it and maybe we don't. It's one of those sunny days. Too much of a good thing. Okay. Well, it is, I think, actually dry enough to remove the tape. Let's see the contrast we achieved. Let's not mess it up. Gloria's Garden. I'll get that off to her today and surprise her with all the Christmassy stuff coming in. Well, I say I'll get it off today. It will get dropped into the mailbox today, but it won't go out till tomorrow. Which is perfect. I suppose we should also include something a little semi-traditional. I hope those two greens are going to be okay. This has a lot of black in it. I don't want to use this brush for that. I'm going to have to let this dry so I can cut in the mountain here. All right, that's got to wait for tomorrow to be finished. And let's see. Yep, gotta dry. Just setting things up to dry for tomorrow, or when I get back here. Now, I will definitely be here on Christmas, except when my lunch is delivered, and then I will leave to eat. I will probably be in the kitchen, because historically that is where I've enjoyed being on Christmas. Baking cookies. Of course, aside from the gifts that I know will be appreciated because they don't bake, and I will for them. Most people are doing their own stuff, so you don't want to give too much candy away, you know. But if I decide to make another pot of soup or something, I'll be ready. Okay, maybe a little bit more wet. Thank you. Oh, that's a weird purple. Would I like that? I don't think so. But that's a really nice peachy color. Well, what do we celebrate at solstice but the return of the sun, right? Turning the corner. Yes, we're not stuck in darkness. The sun returns, the fields shall be fruitful. Okay, I managed to bring in another color I didn't realize I had on board. This is why we do the semi-annual clearing of the desk, the studio, and start all over. I put everything away on the shelves. Clean off the table, throw away the old, put on the new, and then decide what am I going to work on this year. Now I've got acrylic projects I really want to get done, but I promised myself that until Gloria and Harvey leave the planet, I'm going to make sure that they get lots of reminders that someone's thinking about them. They are not forgotten in nursing homes. Okay, so we got some pink, we got some peach. Yep, we're just gonna let that dry. Where are we? Did we get everything coated with the first coat? We did. Okay, let's oh no, just stuck my thumb in the paint. Arc. All right, we are going to let this dry, and I don't want to look at it again until tomorrow. All right, everybody who's not here, have a wonderful rest of the day in case you come on by. And if you are here, have a wonderful rest of the day because you did come by. Until then, later or next time, whenever that is.